therapy and special education, all three of them, along with his regular school. So that was the pre-COVID era. And the COVID thing came, suddenly the school stopped. So initially, I think many of us thought that it's going to happen for 2, 3 months and, we'll be back on track. Summer vacations will get over. So it's okay. But now the scene is such that while I have switched to an online modality for an special education or speech therapy, one of the vital needs that my child has is of occupational and physical therapy, which is stopped for the last almost like 3.5 months. And all that I'm trying, probably what I can do at home is just 5% of what a therapist or a specialist can do. So the net result that I'm facing today, because I'm a working mom, and because of COVID, while I'm working at home, it is actually it's work from home, and it's not only teaching or 100% being with the child. Similarly, there is so currently when I see myself as a person, Simran is like torn between so many roles. She's a mom, she's a full-time employee, she's a maid in some sense also, because there is no house help, and she is also playing the role of these therapists, educators, teachers, all at the same time. And it is really a challenge, a big struggle as a mother that I am facing, because I am just trying to talk to different people, trying to get together plans, and sit and do all of them with Aryan at different points in time in the day. So that's something that I have faced between the pre and the post COVID era.
Thank you, Simran. I would like for all of us to, hi there, Aryan. I would like for all of us to talk about our children taking their names, because it is nice to know them as individuals also, because everywhere we have our names on the screens and we are here because of our children. So it would be nice, like Simran mentioned Aryan, and of course Neha will talk about Sarah also next, Karen and Rekha. Um, Next would be Neha, and I really want to know, as a physiotherapist and someone who has been working with children with different physical challenges for so many years, and now it's Sarah. What was it like before COVID, and what is it like now?
Hi, I'm Neha, mother of Sarah, and I'm, as Anita has told, I'm a practicing physiotherapist too, pediatric physiotherapist. Uh, COVID has given us a lot of work pressure mentally and physically. I would say emotional pressure is also there. So, as Simran was saying, we are really torn between many roles. And I, being a physiotherapist, also, I am not able to do my daughter's physiotherapy at home. Where I cannot do that at home. Being a professional. You can hear me?
Louder, please.
Okay, I thought so. So, being a physiotherapist mom, still I am unable to do Sarah's therapy at home because of the excessive workload, mental saturation after so many things being done, and being with a child with physical limitations, physical disabilities, it really drains you if you are the only caretaker doing the cooking, doing the toileting, doing the special ed speech therapies to come later on, but still you are the only person responsible. The mother is the only person responsible, I feel, who is responsible of taking the therapies and passing it on to the child, and feeling guilty also if at all the child is not performing, or if you are not running up to your expectations. So I feel for females it is a really terrible time going on for mothers. And if you have a child with special needs, any special, my younger one is 4, a normal child, but if we look at the age, that is also a special need. So I'm just being torn, really torn. But with COVID, with regards to Sarah, if I step into her shoes, and if I look at what she is missing, she's missing people, of course, uh, which people in the sense, because they go to a special, she goes to a special school, she's more surrounded by people with disabilities too, otherwise, apart from the home. So wherever she goes, she is disabilities or kids with a pure heart, I would say. So that I feel she doesn't get here. People who are understanding, listening to her whole time, full time. We are there, but it hardly happens. We cannot give her full 24 hours. None of us can give her complete time. So she misses that out time, the time away from the parent and with some other people like the teachers and school. I feel that. And even therapies, online therapies are going on, but physical therapy, if I think where, and even medical health, sorry, physical therapy for other kids. So here I am the therapist for my daughter, so that is okay. But for other kids with cerebral palsy, other parents, it's really difficult because therapy is not, physical therapy is not possible physically by the therapist. So that matters, I feel. And medical help, most of the, like I would say around 40 to 50% of cerebral palsy kids with cerebral palsy who are moderate to severely affected need medical help at any point of time, at a random point of time without any intimation. I was going through that for Sarah for dehydration. So every month I used to go for saline thing in emergency. So now that is a very scary thinking that if my daughter has a UTI, what will I do? Which is common again in children, girls with cerebral palsy, 7, 8, 6 years also. So what do I do if I have to step into a hospital and then there is this fear of COVID, the cloud of COVID. So that is another fear which parents with cerebral palsy have to deal with.
Thank you, Neha. So one thing that I have been wanting to say for a long time is I'm hoping that one day soon I will have a panel of fathers who are helping out. Yeah, I know, I can see the expressions. But one day soon, I'm hoping that we will have a panel of fathers who will be talking about how they are helping their wives in these trying times, because I think they need to be hands-on as well, considering that most of the women are working, and most of the women would also choose to work if they had time on their hands. So what is it that they can do? Maybe we can have a couples chat so that they can have you around for moral support and to prod them into answering. So we'll come to that next. I can ask you what it is that you expect from your spouses or from siblings of your children. Sure. So Neha has something to say.
You'll have to keep an advocate also there ready then.
I'm there. So I can think of that as a retirement plan post-COVID. Okay. So let's go to Rekha, who joined us later. And I would request all the mothers to kindly speak in Hindi if possible. क्योंकि बार-बार मैं यही कहती हूँ, मैं भी भूल जाती हूँ in the middle of the discussion, क्योंकि English has turned into our first language. लेकिन मैं चाहती हूँ कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग इसको देखें और समझें कि हम किस चीज़ के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. तो रेखा जी, आप प्लीज अपने बारे में बताइए और अपने बेटों के बारे में, और स्कूल में आपका क्या एक्सपीरियंस था कोविड से पहले और अभी कोविड के चलते. एक सेकेंड, आप अपना माइक अनम्यूट कीजिए, आपने म्यूट किया है.
हो गया?
हाँ, हो गया.
हाय, मराठीत बोलू?
हाँ, बोला ना.
ओके, माझं नाव रेखा राऊत. माझ्याकडे माझी 2 मुलं आहेत, ते टोटल ब्लाइंड आहेत, पूर्ण दृष्टीहीन आहेत, पण ते आता मोठे आहेत, त्याच्यामुळे ते स्वतः सगळ्या गोष्टी काही करू शकतात. शाळेतलं म्हटलं तर अजून स्कूल सुरू नाही झालेली.
नाही, पण तुम्हाला काय वाटते की पुढे जाऊन काय होणार स्कूल उघडणार तेव्हा?
स्कूल उघडणार तेव्हा थोडं तर प्रॉब्लेम येणारच, थोडं म्हटलं तरी जास्त प्रॉब्लेम येईल की हे जे स्टुडंट आहेत, सगळे विद्यार्थी आहेत, ते गावाकडचे आहेत आणि गावाकडच्या असल्यामुळे त्यांना बऱ्याच काही गोष्टी आणखी माहित नाहीयेत आणि त्या इथं येऊन मग इथं कोरोनामुळे जर त्यांना काही माहिती सांगायची म्हटलं तर ते जास्त एक्सेप्ट पण करतील की नाही, आणि केलीच तर त्यांना वेळ लागेल थोडीशी. स्वतःची काळजी घेण्याबाबत म्हणा, एज्युकेशन संबंधी म्हणा,
तर आता तुम्ही त्यांचे आई बाबांबरोबर या त्यांचे फॅमिलीज बरोबर काहीतरी संवाद आता आहे की नाही कोविडच्या बद्दल,
हो.
आणि नंतर काय होणार आहे, आणि वेकेशन मध्ये त्यांना काय काळजी घ्यायचं आहे, सोशल डिस्टन्सिंग म्हणजे काय, हे सगळे तुम्ही त्यांना आता शिकवतायत वेकेशन मध्ये की
नाही, आम्ही आता व्हॅकेशन मध्ये सांगितलेलं आहे. प्रत्येक मुलांच्या घरी फोन करून त्यांच्या पालकांना याच्याबद्दल माहिती दिलेली आहे. आणि त्या संदर्भात पालक होही बोललेत, आम्ही घेतोय काळजी, आमच्या इकडे आम्ही शेतातच आहोत, आम्ही एवढं गावात जात नाहीये, असं वगैरे काही बोलून सांगतात. पण आम्ही ह्याची माहिती त्या पालकांपर्यंत पोहोचवलेली आहे.
आणि आता हे संपलं नाही लॉकडाऊन, तर पुढचा प्लॅन काय आहे तुमचा स्कूलचा? काहीतरी आहे तुमच्या बरोबर, काहीतरी बोललाय तुमचे ट्रस्टीज आणि मॅनेजमेंटनी, काहीतरी कम्युनिकेशन आहे टीचर्स बरोबर की आता हे एक्सटेंड केला सप्टेंबर, अगर सितंबर तक, सॉरी अभी मैं हिंदी में जा रही हूँ मराठी मेरी खत्म हो गई अगर एक्सटेंड किया सितंबर तक तो क्या होगा, इसके बारे में क्या कोई कम्युनिकेशन है मैनेजमेंट और ट्रस्टीज के साथ, टीचर्स का कुछ है क्या?
अभी नहीं, अभी कल सोमवार के दिन बुलाया है स्कूल में, अभी तक तो नहीं हुई है बात।
पर आपको क्या लगता है कि कैसे करेंगे आप इसको आगे, कैसे एज ए टीचर अगर शुरू हो गया स्कूल, तो आप बताइए कि आप क्या स्टेप्स एज ए टीचर आप क्या रेकमेंड करोगे, क्योंकि काफी माएँ भी देख रही हैं और टीचर्स भी देख रही हैं ये इंटरव्यू, तो आगे जाके क्या आपको क्या करना है एज ए टीचर? आपको क्या लगता है कि सोल्यूशन तो हमारे पास किसी के पास 100% नहीं है, लेकिन सजेशंस तो है, तो आपको क्या लगता है कि बच्चे मिस आउट करेंगे ना, क्योंकि हम वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग कर रहे हैं, तो बार बार वो विजुअल एक चीज है यहाँ पर जो उन बच्चों को नहीं है, शायद वो गांव में है इसलिए वाईफाई उनका उतना सही नहीं,
किसी किसी के पास तो मोबाईल भी नाहीये, तो शिकवायचं म्हटलं तर खूप सारा प्रॉब्लेम येणार आहे. बरेच मुलं आहेत ते काही शेतात राहतात, तिकडं इंटरनेट पण नाहीये, काही काही पालकांकडे मोबाईलही नाहीये, त्याच्यामुळे थोडंसं अवघड जाणार आहे. पण चालू आहे, प्रयत्न चालू आहे की त्यांच्यापर्यंत कसं एज्युकेशन अभ्यासासंदर्भात त्यांना शिकवता येईल किंवा सांगता येईल.
थँक यू रेखा. Karen, can you please unmute your mic? So Karen, tell me, how has it been for your Buddy Center, which is a beautiful place for children of different ages, children and youth, I think, coming to you of all different ages with different disabilities, and it's a wonderful place for them to go. And that has not been available for them for quite some time, something that they all look forward to. So I have seen it before COVID, so you can still talk about it now, how it was before COVID and how lively it used to be, and how are you coping now? And how are those parents coping now without your Buddy Center?
Thank you, Anita, for having me, first of all. COVID or no COVID in our lives, we parents of children with special needs are adaptive and resilient. All thanks was a special space for many children, and we really enjoyed that special space. After 2 months, I think it took me also, thinking things would improve, change, waiting for things to be better, and start my Buddy Center again was not happening. So I've started it online. So we still meet, all the kids are still there, and we do have a happy space every weekend in the evening. So the children still get to see each other and, talk to one another and share things. It's not the same, I mean, they're physically meeting each other and, shake hand or a hug to one another. It's also different now. And I guess nothing's going to be the same again, at least for some time.
Yes.
So I guess we just have to cope with it.
Okay.
Parents of children with special needs are more involved with their kids anyway, and now more so after COVID. Just the things that we took for granted, going down with the kids, visiting a grandparent. My daughter Kanika really enjoys being with her grandmom and spending time. And we're not too far away, but now going across to her place is a challenge. So these little things that we took for granted, we have to think of alternatives now. So yes, and now we have a tsunami of online sessions and things at our disposal, and so many things to choose from for our kids also. But it is also a challenge. What is the best learning uh, session for our kids now? What would be the best? All of us want the best for our kids. So yes, this is a challenge. Things are very different now after the COVID scene coming in. It has changed the complete understanding or changing our lives completely to a certain extent, because the things we took for granted we cannot anymore. So teaching our children self-help activities, including them in daily chores around the house, keeping them occupied fruitfully. Yes, that is the new norm now, at least for us. And it has helped our children in a big way, I think. We are not only including them in our daily activities now, we are trying to make them aware of things around them. And they are very sensitive. They hear us speaking on telephones, they hear us speaking to one another, and they pick up things. So our frustrations, our anxieties are getting transferred to them, which we have to be very careful about it now. So when we talk about COVID, not I don't think they understand very much of it. So there has to be continuous dialogue between parent and child and make them understand what is happening. Just saying don't go down, you can't go out is not within their understanding. So there has to be continuous dialogue with them. Not only making them understand, but giving them a safe space, making them aware that, yes, providing them a blanket of security. And that's what we should do. And, but talk to them. So their anxieties doesn't get transferred into bad behavior. Because suddenly we see them behaving badly and just protesting, oh, we want to go out, we want to do this. But they haven't understood why we are saying no to it. So there has to be continuous dialogue with our children. Kanika, yes, has found her little space. She enjoys being at home anyway and finds her own things to do in the house. So that's great. And yes, our laptops and iPads are great also. But what of those who can't afford it? Not everybody can afford an internet connection and Zoom and things like that we can afford for our kids. So what happens to those? Also, I'm sure there are other poor kids with special needs who can't afford online sessions, who can't afford a phone. Forget, they're just living on day-to-day wages. So what happens to those kids? How can we extend our help to them?
Okay.
I think that is a big challenge now.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I think for a very long time I have been saying this, that there needs to be a mother's support group or a parent's support group or a hub. This word hub, parents hub, is something that keeps coming back to me, because I genuinely feel that mothers also need to get together, and there has to be a place where you can vent and not be judged for the way you're feeling. So is there that kind of a space where you have a bunch of mothers of children with special needs, where you're able to talk and find another person who understands exactly what you're going through? Because it can't be easy. I can see it on your faces. It's not an easy space that any of you is in right now. And there are so many worries. And like Neha said, finally, it's the mother who's responsible for the child. However, हम जितना भी समझे कि हम आगे निकल गए हैं, फिर भी बच्चे की जिम्मेदारी फाइनली माँ के कंधे पर ही आती है. तो अगर बच्चा वेल बिहेव नहीं है या वेल एजुकेटेड नहीं है या ठीक से उसने खाना भी नहीं खाया है, तो वो माँ की जिम्मेदारी थी. तुमने क्यों नहीं देखा? ये हम खुद से भी पूछते हैं कि शायद मुझे कुछ करना चाहिए था, शायद मेरे साइड से कुछ कमी रह गई. तो क्या ऐसे मदर्स का कोई अभी तक कोई आपने ग्रुप बनाया है ताकि आप एक दूसरे से बात कर सकें और एक दूसरे को तसल्ली दे सकें या एक दूसरे को गाइड कर सकें? और मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में सब लोग बात कर रहे हैं, बार बार यही बात हो रही है कि बच्चों के मेंटल हेल्थ का क्या होगा. मदर के मेंटल हेल्थ का क्या होगा के बारे में अभी तक शायद मैंने कोई डिस्कशन, मे बी आई मिस समथिंग, पर मैंने नहीं देखा है. व्हाट इज द मेंटल हेल्थ ऑफ द मदर who is going through all this? So from the beginning, even before COVID, I used to say that, you know, having a child with challenges is already something that will impact the confidence levels and so many other things in a country like India for the mother. So with COVID here and you, all of you becoming 100% hands-on with your kids, what have been your challenges, and do you feel like what kind of counseling or what kind of support can the family and can the community actually offer you? So again, I'll go back to Simran. So we'll go in the same order. Simran, what do you think that you need right now in terms of support? Moral support, maybe not anything else, but what kind of support are you looking at?
So, Anita, are you able to hear me? Okay. Alright. So, it's a very pertinent point. I think मुझे लगता है कि ये बहुत जरूरी बात है, क्योंकि बाकी दुनिया को तो छोड़ो, हम खुद भी नहीं सोच पाते हैं कि हमारी एनर्जी कितनी ड्रेन आउट हो रही है इस समय. और सच को तो जो नेहा ने कहा या कैरन ने या फिर कविता जी ने भी कहा, कविता जी में भी आई डिडंट अंडरस्टैंड टू मच ऑफ मराठी, बट आई थिंक हम सबकी प्रॉब्लम यही है कि आज हम इतने सारे रोल्स प्ले कर रहे हैं कि अब हम यू नो ऐसे लगता है कि किसी दिन तो शायद टूट ही जाएंगे. तो मुझे खुद के लिए वो लगता है. तो आई थिंक इस वक्त शायद आई विश कि ऐसा कोई ग्रुप होता, या पता नहीं मैं शायद उसके लिए भी कितना टाइम निकाल पाऊँ, मुझे तो वो तक नहीं पता आज सच बोलूं तो. बट काश एक ऐसा टाइम मुझे मिले, कुछ और तो नहीं, बस थोड़ा सा वक्त मिले जहाँ पर मैं सिर्फ यू नो आई गेट टाइम फॉर माई सेल्फ. आज मेरे पास अपने लिए वक्त नहीं, जो कि बहुत अच्छी स्थिति नहीं है मानसिक तौर पे देखी जाए. कुछ टाइम तक, कुछ वक्त तक हम इसको झेल लेंगे, बट आगे पता नहीं क्या होगा, मुझे खुद नहीं मालूम. बट शायद कहीं कोई तरीका. सो एवरी सिंगल डे आई जस्ट प्रे कि यू नो दिस जस्ट काइंड ऑफ बिकम्स अ लिटिल ईजियर एज वी मूव फॉरवर्ड. बट शायद एक छोटा सा प्रैक्टिकल तरीका जो मेरा बर्डन थोड़ा ईज ऑफ करे, जो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर जब हम ये ऑनलाइन सेशंस कर रहे हैं या ऑनलाइन ट्यूटोरियल्स कर रहे हैं या कुछ भी कर रहे हैं, क्या हम एक ऐसा सिचुएशन क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, एक ऐसा नेटवर्क क्रिएट कर सकते हैं जहाँ पे हमारे जो थेरेपिस्ट है, जब अगर मेरा एक स्पीच थेरेपिस्ट है और अगर मेरे साथ एक स्पेशल एजुकेटर है और मेरी स्कूल की टीचर है, जिनके ऊपर ऑब्वियसली अभी अलग तरह के प्रेशर से, बट ये शायद उनको थोड़ा वक्त भी देता है कि ये तीन लोग जब साथ में बैठे और एक बच्चे के लिए प्लान बनाएं, तो जो अलाइनमेंट आएगा उस वजह से वो बहुत सारी चीजें हम सबके लिए आसान करेगा किसी तरह से. आई थिंक नेहा तो एक थेरेपिस्ट खुद है, तो शायद उसका इनपुट्स मैं यहाँ पर चाहूंगी. बट दिस वाज द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट केम टू माय माइंड कि आर्यन की स्कूल टीचर, आर्यन की स्पीच थेरेपिस्ट और आर्यन की जो घर पे स्पेशल एजुकेटर है, इंक्लूडिंग द मदर, हम चार लोग शायद 1 घंटा 1.5 घंटा अगर बैठे और सोचे कि ये सारी चीजें आर्यन के लिए हमें करनी है, बट इसमें हमारी टॉप 3 प्रायोरिटीज ये हैं, और एक दूसरे और एक कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव प्लान बनाया जाए जो मुझे फॉलो करना है, तो शायद वो काफी हद तक मेरा काम आसान करेगा और शायद कुछ हद तक मेरे चैलेंजेस कम होंगे. बाकी that this is my thought on this.
Can you do us a favor, and you know, when this has gone up now on Facebook, so as one of the comments, can you just put down what you just said as a solution, so that it is there in text for us to read, and we can see what different people looking at it. You will be sharing this on your page also, obviously I'll be tagging you. So if you can get people to read it, and we can see if we can form these groups. This is what I have been saying from the beginning. So if we have these hubs everywhere, now you have online hubs. So what it is going to take you is probably just a WhatsApp call or maybe a Zoom call with all of these therapists, Aryan's therapists, right? It is something you can initiate yourself. But again, for the mothers to get together, a couple of mothers who are going through the same situation or going to the same therapist maybe or to the same school, getting together and putting forward their problems or questions to these therapists at one time. That would be great. If you just put this down in text, type it out and put it there so that everybody can read it. Yeah, thank you.
I'll do that.
Yeah, Neha, please, you're next.
I feel Indian women are mothers, especially. We are not mothers, women, wives, bahus. we are unable to gauge for ourselves that we are overworked mentally, physically, emotionally. We do not accept for ourselves also. How can I? It's not about the overconfidence or ego, but we have so many expectations from the family and self expectations that we cannot accept that we are in a overworked situation, stress situation. So I feel really the mothers need a hub more than kids are getting that social time out. But who are they going out with? Again, the mothers. The mother's responsibility to take my daughter to a garden, a group where there are other kids with challenges or similar kids who they will relate to mingle with, so that because they are the only people who mingle with kids with challenges. Only the kids with challenges mingle with the kids with challenges. We are not yet into that full-fledged form where my daughter will also be comfortable and understood and supported by a person other than me in a group of kids with uh, in a group of kids with normal kids or normal environment. I cannot leave her even for a minute. So that way, yes, if I can, even if my maid the helper is allowed, I get 5-10% of um, rest rest mentally. But it what really would de-stress us, हमको वो de-stress कर पाएंगे हम तब जब हम किसी और मदर से बात कर पाएंगे. So that would really be good. If you ask me, I really need time out. I need time out from everybody for 48, 72 hours, including my daughter and my husband. They are online on the other iPad, but I really need time out. I don't know what they think of me. I really need my time out. I'm overstressed right now. So if we look into there, that my any child herself, they cannot express their anxiety. Today I just express it out in some form, but they cannot even express. I'm sure they are also not liking being within the four walls. And if now we are going down, then the mask comes in. Now when if I look at Sarah, when she's communicating, I have to look at her eyes, because the speech is blurred, not very clear. Even her facial expression gives the meaning to her actions and unclear words. So now because of the mask also, half of the time I'm unable to understand if we go down. So I have to just suppress her or remove the mask and then understand her and then move forward. So mask is another challenge, even with the other challenged speak challenge. I mean, deaf and dumb people also. So mask is a big challenge for us. Yes, we just need. We all will go somewhere after this lockdown ends.
So Sachin, your husband is very much watching us on Facebook, and he
Yeah,
says
I
he
know.
will
He's
try.
following this.
So you
That's why I
have
said
been
all this.
writing
No?
that he is going to try, Neha. You look
Yeah, he is trying his best, but they don't accept that we are in like even himself. Sometimes we just need a time off, and even parents, everyone who is homebound. But the only responsibility, whole soul responsibility, is the mother's. If it is not done, at the end of the day, only the mother's को strike hota hai. That is the connection instinct that God has made. Also, I'm proud of it. But this is being home, being just tied, the child also tied in an anxious situation, being tied to the home is really challenging.
true. One other thing that I have been wanting to do through Ekansh for quite some time is the caregivers, training caregivers for children and adults, youth and adults with disabilities. And that is something we can set up only with the help of the parents, the mothers especially, who are the primary caregivers as of now. क्योंकि caregiving, nursing है, then there are those ladies that we call maushis or ayas who do the cleaning up. But a child actually needs someone who's like a companion with whom the child can laugh, go for a movie. So caregiving, it doesn't really have to be a profession in itself. It could also be I love what Karen has called her group, the buddy center. So a child having a buddy without a disability who can probably take care of the child in a situation where the mother is simply not present. Some house where you can drop your child off and take that 3 minute ka breather and go watch a movie. 3 घंटे का breather, 3 minute का नहीं, 3 घंटे का breather where you can go watch a movie. Sounds like a dream, I'm sure. but some place where you can drop your child off and know that your child is secure. It doesn't have to be a school or a center. You should not have to justify the fact that you have, taken your child somewhere. Just a visit and dropping off your child someplace where your child is safe and understood and taken care of. This is also something that I think we need to build for the community going forward, because COVID is teaching us this. It can't all be one person's responsibility or just the parents' responsibility. रेखा जी, आपसे पूछना था, आप अपना अनम्यूट कर लीजिए माइक। आपसे पूछना था कि पहले जब आपके बेटे छोटे थे और उनको संभालने का पूरा जो भार था वो आपके ऊपर था, तो तब फैमिली की तरफ से क्या सपोर्ट आपको मिला और आसान था क्या? आप क्या एक्सपेक्ट करते थे और क्या सारा भार आप ही के ऊपर था?
नाही म्हणजे असं नाहीये की सगळा भार माझ्यावर नव्हता. घरात मेन म्हणजे माझ्या मिस्टरांनी खूप मला सपोर्ट केला. घरातल्या सासूबाईंनी पण खूप सपोर्ट केला. कोणाकडून विरोध नव्हता झाला, त्याच्यामुळे आज मी मुलांना इथपर्यंत शिक्षण देऊ शकले.
लेकिन स्कूल में जो बच्चे आते हैं उनकी कहानियां कैसी हैं?
स्कूल में जो बच्चे आते हैं उनकी कहानी थोडी अलग अलग है. कोणाचे पालक एक्सेप्ट केलेले आहेत की मुलाचं अपंगत्व, कोणाचे नाही केलेले आहेत, तर त्यांना आम्ही सल्ला सांगतो, त्यांच्या बरोबर बोलतो की, आणि ते बोलल्यानंतर त्यांना थोडंसं कळतं की नाही बाबा, आपली पण मुलं काहीतरी करू शकतात. एक गावाकडच्या लोकांचा गैरसमज असा असतो की आता ह्याला दिसत नाहीये तर हा कशा प्रकारे डेव्हलप होईल, हा कसा समाजात पुढे वागेल किंवा त्याला नोकरी कशी मिळणार, हे सगळं मोठा गैरसमज त्यांच्याकडे आहे. त्यामुळे त्यांना आम्ही काय म्हणतात, काउन्सिलिंग करतो. त्याच्यामुळे बऱ्यापैकी पालकांमध्ये सुधारणा झालेली आहे.
तो रेखा जी, मुझे आपसे पूछना था कि अभी जो कोविड का सिचुएशन है, जो मैं आपसे सुन रही हूँ कि आपने पेरेंट्स से बात किया है फोन के ऊपर और बताया है कि कोविड में कंडीशंस कैसे हैं, और मंडे को आपकी मीटिंग है, तो इस कॉन्वर्सेशन के बाद मैं आपसे फिर से बात करना चाहूंगी कि हमें बच्चों के साथ थोड़ा सा संवाद करना जरूरी है ना हमारा, और पूछना कि आप कैसे हो अब जो आप घर पे हो। और हम समझ सकते हैं कि बड़े शहरों में अगर इतना प्रॉब्लम है तो गांव में कितना प्रॉब्लम होता होगा,
बहुत सारा।
हाँ, तो उनको सुविधाएं भी नहीं मिलती होंगी सारी, तो उनका बच्चों से बात करना और उनका जो अभी मानसिक स्थिति है बच्चों का भी और उनकी माँओं का, ये कॉन्वर्सेशन होना शायद जरूरी है, स्पेशली विजुअली चॅलेंज बच्चों के पेरेंट्स के साथ.
हाँ, तर आम्ही सुट्टीमध्ये त्यांच्या बरोबर बोललो फोन करून, मुलांनाही सांगितलं, आणि एवढं मुलांना काही वाटलं नाहीये की माझा 7वीचा वर्ग आहे. मुलांना उलट खूप आनंद झाला की ते इथे शाळेत राहतात, त्यांना 6-6 महिने त्यांच्या पालकांजवळ राहायला भेटत नाहीये, त्यामुळे त्यांच्यासाठी तो खूप आनंद आहे वेगळा. त्यांना विचारले की आता तुम्हाला कसं आहे तिथे, करमतं का, यायचं का इकडे शाळेमध्ये, तर नाही आम्ही आनंदात आहे, मस्त आहे, खेळ खेळतो वगैरे, अशा वेगवेगळ्या खेळांची नावं सांगतात. त्यांच्या बरोबर पण झालं बोलून.
पेरेंट्स का क्या, माँओं का क्या हाल है वहां पर? यहाँ पर तो देख रहे हैं हम ऑनलाइन,
हाँ,
वहां पे क्या हाल है?
गावाकडचं तर जास्त करून नाहीये काय की ते त्यांच्या शेतातल्या कामासंदर्भातच असतात. मुलांना घरी ठेवून ते त्यांचे काम करतात, त्यामुळे मुलांकडे थोडं लक्ष त्यांचं कमीच असतं, म्हणायला काही हरकत नाहीये. कारण काय एवढा वेळ ते नाही देऊ शकत. गावाकडची परिस्थिती माहितीये, हातावरची पोट असतात, शेतात काम केल्याशिवाय खायला मिळणार नाहीये, त्यामुळे मुलांसाठी ते थोडा वेळ, जास्त वेळ नाही देऊ शकत.
थैंक यू रेखा जी. और कैरन, tell me what you feel. What could be the kind of support that society, the community, and the family can offer?
In the current scenario that we are in, the best help I think as a parent with a child with special needs can get is a support from another parent with a child with special needs, because they understand better what we are going through, because they're going through it themselves every day. Maybe the levels are different, but we are all struggling every day. So we can share our experiences, solutions, things that have worked for our child may work for someone else, might work for somebody else. So it'll be nice to have do have groups like children with autism. The parents have a group. The children with epilepsy, the parents have a group, and Down syndrome. So in that way, we do share experiences. They do share solutions and ask for help. Ask, when they're in trouble, what can be done for their child. So I think that's the best support group to have.
What do you think about counseling from, say, I know that when we talk about psychologists or psychiatrists, people start having reservations. But do you think that, being able to talk to a psychologist will help even for mothers to get over these feelings of anxiety, guilt? There are so many things. So when we talk about something like mental illness, sometimes we can feel ourselves going crazy in certain situations. There may be very small temporary feelings of madness because of the work pressure that you have, or just anger at something and being helpless. I think most of our anger as mothers stems from being helpless. When we have the solution with us, we are fine. It's only when we don't know what to do that suddenly we sort of lose it, lose grip over ourselves, and then feel guilty about that anger that we felt at that point of time. So there is guilt, there is anxiety, there is stress. There are just so many things that we are all going through right now as mothers, not only of children with challenges. Let me reassure you, it's also kids without challenges, because they are also used to the outside a lot more than children with disabilities also. So they are also worried. They're also wondering about their education. What are they going to do in future? Is this going to open up or not? They're not happy sitting at home. None of the kids are happy. Even the parents are not. So do you think having a group where you can have close discussions with counselors will help? If we can line up as Ekansh counselors for parents, it's not like having a shrink, so to say, but it's just somebody that you can talk to without being judged. A friend of mine runs an organization, called Listening Post, where you can speak to them without being judged or interrupted. So there is just somebody listening to you who will not judge you, and it will be completely anonymous. So having posts like that, listening posts like that, would that help mothers, do you think, where you're not being judged, where you're not being analyzed even psychologically? It's just a place you can go to and rant about that particular day. And with the assurance that somebody's listening to you. Because otherwise, most times there are people standing in front of you, you're not sure they're even listening to you or that they have understood you. This is a universal complaint from all women. There are people there, but they haven't understood you at all at that point. So do you think such things will help so that, Ekansh can probably look at organizing meets like that?
That would be lovely. That really would help, I think, parents, mothers especially. And, you have these places where you call in for help, the helplines for people going to commit suicide and, who are suicidal and things like that. So, and it's anonymous. I mean, but there is somebody listening. There is somebody who's going to help you out. You know that at the other end. So that would be nice to have somebody to talk to listen to, maybe get a little advice from, a little help from. It'll go a long way, I guess.
That's wonderful. So if you can just not call it, a psychologist listening to you, just call it something like Listening Post, like my friend has done, where we are not being judged for our, state of mind at that point of time. We can look at lining something like that up for mothers, especially right now. So I'm just putting you on mute, Karen, and going back to Simran. Yeah, so Simran, going forward, what do you think? I mean, do you have, since I've shared the topic for today with you yesterday, do you have anything listed in your mind? Like, 1, 2, 3, knowing how systematic you are. Have you got a list with you about what you think would work for most mothers? Not for everybody, obviously, but for most mothers.
Okay. So here's just a little perspective that I have at what I try to do, trying to keep some bit of sanity in this entire situation. So definitely, I know that the school probably, even if it opens in the next couple of months, I probably will not feel safe to send Aryan, because most of our children come with poor immunity.
Right.
And they don't even realize that they have to be with a mask or a sanitizer or all of that. So I probably don't even see my son going to school for the next couple of months. So what I have thought is that the first thing that I have tried to do is very clearly the fact that I have to somewhere make peace with whatever I'm able to do today, and try as only for that particular uh, aspect, I would say. जैसे कि there was a time when the school was really being nice by doing a summer camp for us, for our kids. We're trying to engage them. But and while I started with very lot of excitement कि हाँ चलो summer camp है, teachers will keep sending videos and something or the other, I realized in about 2 days that it is so overwhelming for me, because there were other moms of kids who were stay-at-home moms and who were able to do a lot of keep pace with that program, and I was feeling that अरे यार ये तो एक और टास्क आ गया मेरे ऊपर. एंड पहले 2 दिन मैंने बहुत कोशिश की और उसके बाद मैंने सोचा कि मैं शायद नहीं कर पाऊंगी, तो मैं जितना कर पाऊंगी मैं उतना ही करती हूँ. तो कुछ चीजें जो आई थिंक probably may work for others also, that I have tried to make work for myself. पहली चीज तो है कि एक छोटा सा गोल ले लेते हैं कि आज अगर आर्यन स्कूल नहीं जा पा रहा है तो क्या मैंने कुछ भी नहीं कर पाई कि उसके लिए एटलीस्ट मैं ये खुश हूँ कि मैंने आर्यन को अपने आप से नहाना सिखाया, मैंने उसे ब्रश करना सिखाया, मैंने आज उसे कपड़े पहनने सिखाए. तो वो भी आर्यन के लिए बहुत जरूरी है, जो कि मैं अगर फुल टाइम वो अगर 6-7 घंटे स्कूल जाता और दूसरे थेरेपीज में जाता तो मेरा टाइम उसके साथ उतना ही कम होता जाता था. तो आज अगर मैं उसके साथ घर पे दिन भर हूँ, जबकि मैं अपना काम कर रही हूँ, घर का काम भी कर रही हूँ, बट ये छोटी छोटी चीजें मैं उसके साथ कर सकती हूँ. तो एक सिचुएशन को इस तरह से देखना कि इसमें ये तो है और ये तो रहनी है कुछ टाइम तक, तो मैं इसमें क्या कर सकती हूँ जो कि आर्यन या आर्यन जैसे बच्चों को आगे हेल्प करे. पहली वो चीज थी. दूसरी ये कि जो मैंने पहले भी कहा था कि मैं कोशिश करूंगी खुद भी अब आपके कहने के बाद कि जूम मीटिंग करूं उसके थेरेपिस्ट, उसके टीचर और खुद के साथ, ताकि हम तीनों जने मिलकर उसका एक इंडिविजुअल एजुकेशन प्लान या जो भी उसका गोल शीट है बनाएं जो इस बाकी के महीनों का, और हम उसको कर पाए ताकि चीजें उतनी बुरी ना दिखे जितनी वो दिखती हैं या जितनी बड़ी दिख रही है हमारे लिए. That is the second thing. And the third thing is that you know what, I'll be happy to be a part of this listening post or something like that, because कितना भी मैं ये खुद से कोशिश कर लूं, शायद एंड ऑफ द डे लगता है कि काश कोई तो समझे कि यार तुम भी थक गई हो और तुम्हें भी रेस्ट चाहिए. तो ये जरूर बहुत जरूरी है. मुझे खुद को लगता है कि ये बहुत जरूरी है और शायद अगर ये हो पाए तो हम जैसी बहुत सी माओं को ये हेल्प करेगा. इट विल रियली बी वेरी हेल्पफुल फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस.
So I just tagged a friend of mine called Janaki who runs Listening Post, and hopefully she will be able to guide us, to set up more of these. If we can get her to do some online trainings, so we can figure out, like, for each group that you already have, like Karen was mentioning that for children with autism or children with Downs, there are already groups. So if we can have one person who will be the listening post for that particular group, so that she understands who is talking to her and where they're coming from, the mothers are coming from, that would be a great help probably. Neha, what are your solutions? Because you've been working with other mothers also on a regular basis. So they must be confiding in you quite a bit. You must be the listening post for quite a few mothers. So voluntarily or involuntarily. So tell me what you see as helpful, will be helpful in such a situation.
There was this book, I don't know how many of us, I too haven't read, Women Are From Venus and Men Are From Mars. So I just read a few pages long back, and it has, I just read it a few pages long back, and what I registered has remained in my mind forever. So the males have a specific need, a way of de-stressing when they come home. Maybe it's the newspaper or just the television, or maybe some other thing, and females just need to seek out without any judgment, without any solution being given कि ऐसे कर लेते ना, हमें नहीं करना था वो, आप मत बताओ हमको कैसे कर लेना था, हम सारा तरीके ट्राई कर करके as if they could they that's where only a woman can speak to a woman about her anxieties, I feel, or a very good friend. So I have been speaking to my mothers over time during this COVID of my clinic also, and it really feels better when they listen, or when I confide into a psychologist friend of mine and she tells me, "Ki, look, you are expecting too much from yourself. You are already giving all your might, and it is really working out. So just breathe." So that when it comes from a dear friend who has listened to you for an hour and just gives you that one statement, it really helps. I feel listening coach is a really good solution. All females would be ready to even volunteer for that matter, not just rant out, even volunteer to listen to someone else. Apart from that, can't see any real solutions. The fear of the COVID is really too much. I feel I am scared to reopen my clinic and how it would go on. So the fear of finding a solution is not yet very clear for me right now. Apart from females, yes, and we working out our own plans or with the therapist for our kids. But again, it is your job only.
Thank you, Neha. So I have just added Janaki Vishwanath to the chat, in the sense not with us, but she is watching us on Facebook. She's the one who runs Listening Post. So after this conversation, I will probably talk to her and see how we can maybe have, I don't know if it can happen online, but we can still request her to do some kind of a training for us where, you know, we can listen to each other without judgment, a place for us to go and rant without being judged. These are the things I think most mothers are looking for in any case. Also, I have been wanting to bring in the men into this conversation, and it's a desperate need because every time I'm calling a panel, I can only think of women. I'm not able to think of a single father who will be a part of this conversation, or other than the speech therapist that we had on one of the panels. I can't think of any other men who are, teachers or counselors who will be able to. And I'm not being sexist when I say this, I'm only stating my observations with all due respect to the men who are sensitive and taking part in all of these things. So most definitely, I think we also need counseling for fathers if this is going to continue, about how they can be a part of this, at least over the weekends when they are free. I'm sure all the mothers are also free only on the weekends, like working mothers. But the men also have to see where they can come, and maybe we can have a session with the fathers also. Maybe after this session is shared with your spouses, we can drag them into the discussion somehow, and have a man conduct the entire session, so that it's a man-to-man talk, and they would be probably more willing to listen to each other and see how they can step in. I'm sure they also feel helpless to a great extent because we have never expected them to step in, and they have never been trained to step in, and their mindsets are such that they didn't even realize that they could step in the first place. Sometimes maybe they could do a better job than a lot of the mothers, but they simply don't know that they can, or that they have it in them. So I empathize with them also, but maybe we should have a conversation with them for them also to discover that side of them where they can be caregivers to their children and equal parents in such a situation. रेखा जी, आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी, आपने कहा कि आपके हस्बैंड और आपका फैमिली बहुत ही कोऑपरेटिव था. आप बताएंगे कि आपके हस्बैंड ने कैसे स्टेप इन किया और क्या सपोर्ट दिया आपको जिस दिन आप ऑफिस जाती थी और बच्चे घर पे थे, तो उन्होंने स्टेप इन करके क्या क्या किया? या आपने सारा खाना बना लिया, नाश्ता सबको खिला के, खाना तैयार करके गैस चूल्हे के सामने रख के फिर आप ऑफिस गई, या उन्होंने कह दिया कि मैं संभाल लूंगा? कहाँ तक आपको सपोर्ट मिला और कैसा सपोर्ट मिला?
सांगायचं म्हणलं तर सगळ्यात मोठा सपोर्ट त्यांचाच आहे. त्यांनी खूप सपोर्ट केला की तू मुलांकडे लक्ष दे, तू घरी आहेस तर तू मुलांकडे लक्ष देऊ शकते आणि दे, तुला जर काही कमी पडलं तर मी तुला मदत करेल. आणि जेव्हा मग मुलं शाळेत जायला लागले तेव्हा घरी फक्त मी स्वयंपाक करून जात होते बाकीचं, कारण का तेव्हा सासूबाई वगैरे पण माझ्याकडेच राहिल्या होत्या. तर त्यांनी ऍक्च्युली सगळं बाकीचं पाठीमागचं हँडल केलं. आणि मग अशा प्रकारे मग मी त्यांना मुलांसाठी वेळ देऊ लागले. मुलांना शाळेत सोडून त्यांच्या शाळेत स्कूलमध्येच थांबत होते. ब्रेल तिथंच शिक्षकांकडून त्यांच्या शाळेत ब्रेल शिकले आणि ब्रेल शिकल्यानंतर मग मी घरी येऊन त्यांना बोलले की मुलं काय करतायत ते आपल्याला समजायचं कसं. मग त्याच्यासाठी मग ते म्हटले ठीक आहे. त्यांना मी म्हटलं की मी D.Ed करते. तर त्यांनी सपोर्ट दिला की ठीक आहे तू कर, तुला होत असेल तर तू कर मुलांसाठी. मग मी D.Ed केलं. मुलांचं एज्युकेशन विषयी माहिती गोळा केली. त्यांच्यात काय अडचणी आहेत, त्यांना किती प्रकारे अडचणी येतात, त्याच्यामध्ये आपण काय त्यांना मदत करू शकतो, हे मी D.Ed केल्यानंतर मला समजलं.